Y'all,
that was amazing.
It was good for you. This is exciting.
When something is good, I think it's good.
It's when something is good, Poodle will keep fucking it.
Yo, this is the crossover. This is Gay Crappens.
This is 90 Gay Crappens.
We agreed it was Gay Crappens.
Oh, in the email today, I read that Ronnie put 90 Gay Crappens. Y'all, it's something.
At this point, who even cares?
Who even cares? You guys.
It's our crossover between Watch What Crappens and 90 Day Gays.
Watch What Crappens with Ronnie. Ben Ron with Ronnie and Ben. We're so excited. You guys, this is a three-parter. Now, if you're on the GAYTRONS.
That's what they called me in college.
There goes three-parter. Hey! You guys, you ladies, you people, we don't need to gender you. We want to let you know that if you're in the GAYTRONS at any level, you can watch the video of us doing this. It's already up now. And you should have gotten an email of that in your Patreon. And just click on that little link and watch the video of this. Or if you want to listen to it for free as a podcast, that's what this is.
If you don't want to see my beautiful T-shirt and all of us looking very casual,
you can see me in my father's man cave with light fixtures he made that are really cute, actually.
And my expressive face when I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
With the popcorn maker in the background, and Poodle now just wants popcorn all the time.
I could not. I'm like, why is there a popcorn maker? And I could not focus
because it was
otherwise.
A movie room. It cost me $80. We used it once. Hard to fucking clean. Most expensive popcorn I ever bought. Anyway,
there you are.
There you are. So this is part one of the crossover. Part. How do you say that in French, Poodle? Someone who is recently a French sissy just came at us.
I know, and she corrected. I will take umbrage with you spelled the name wrong.
She said, I love it when Poodle corrects Maddie's French because he should, but Poodle's French is terrible.
I will say she was right. She was right on the two things.
See, you do admit when things are right. So, y'all, there's three parts of these. This first one's dropping on Monday. The next one's dropping on Tuesday. And the third one's dropping on Wednesday to give y'all a little Happy New Year cheering, queering, gay stuff.
Yeah, we just didn't have anything to program at this time of the year. So.
And there you go. So be sure to go if you're.
This is Holidate too. We're watching. This is Holidate. I don't know if you may want to stop now and watch Holidate. You know what? Don't save yourself the problems.
It's true. Yeah, I'm torn on that one.
It's a cute movie, but about 2/3 of the way through, I started to have a lot of big existential questions about life.
Which is what you do in bed.
Exactly. But it wasn't the movie that made me do that. I was kind of like, why am I watching this?
Agreed.
What is going to happen? What does this say about me?
What brought me here?
Yeah.
So we also want to let you guys, if you're a Housewives fan and you've never listened to Watch What Crappens,
they do it better than anybody, guys.
It's the reason why we don't do it, y'all, because they do it the best.
And they've been doing it the longest.
And they're hilarious.
Like 6-7 years.
So, yeah, you've got to subscribe to Watch What Crappens. A link to them is in the show notes. Be sure to click on that, or just wherever you listen to podcasts. If you type the word Crappens, you will find them. Yeah.
Why does the word Crappens make me laugh?
It's a great name.
Yeah. That's it. Anyway, enjoy the episode, pukes.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love. It's 90-day gay. Let's love.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special Watch What Crappens, and 90 Day Gay. Holiday extravaganza! I'm Ronnie Karam. That's Ben Mandelker. Those guys are Matt Marr and Jake Anthony from 90 Day Gay.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
What's up? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Holidays.
Merry Christmas. Happy
holidays.
Hanukkah.
Have a Hanukkah, and I hope you find a twink in your stocking.
Oh, God. Everybody, we've been wanting to do this for a real long time. We are actually real friends, real life.
Yeah,
and
we are.
It's about damn time we joined forces and talked some shit about television shows.
It's true. Poodle told me don't go off on Ina Garten tangents with Ben.
You better not. You better not. You're going to activate me.
I know, we love her.
We actually need to talk about movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about we actually have to talk about Jeffrey. I was like, I'm ready.
We'll
I am ready
Ina
to start
Garten.
this.
If we're still talking towards the end, we'll make a bonus episode of Talking Ina, because I just actually watched her yesterday and was extremely triggered. Also, has she lost a bunch of weight?
I think she's lost some.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. You know, she has those like unform fitting shirts that she wears. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, they're not form fit. And then, but the way I could tell is because like when I lose weight, I have like a herky jerky way of talking anyway. And so when I lose weight, I look crazy. I look like I'm breakdancing.
It could be her curly hair. I mean, it's a goal. When I'm 70, I want child labor to make me flouncy shirts so I look not fat. Because I'm going to be huge.
Her shirts are custom made, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I want.
She's doing this kind of like, she's at home, so all of her camera is kind of far away.
Yes.
And so maybe that's part of it. But she's always looked the same, like Mount Rushmore. Like she just doesn't change.
Perennial. Although this is actually the in quarantine is the most we've seen her change because she doesn't have access to her hair people. So we are getting like her natural curls.
Yeah, her natural wave. Because I saw something where she was like on her cell phone or something like, well, Jeffrey lies, and her head was like kind of herky jerky, and she had that wavy hair. And I was like, well, oh my God, is she on Adderall? What is happening with Ina?
When she messes up or there's like she's waiting, that's kind of my favorite thing. Like they could totally like if Food Network, I would never pay for their fucking streaming. But if they did like Ina Garten, like outtakes, take my money, take it.
Yeah, I love that. I love it when she pours, or when she pours like powdered sugar into a mixer, and then a cloud comes up. She's like, she's like, I'm in a cloud. You know, I'm like, yes, Ina, yes, you are in a cloud.
When she
I love a good little joke.
She does like pasta too, and she's like, oh, instant facial.
Yeah, she always does that.
Means something different for Jake.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh
Saturday
God. Well, no, not to me. Like literally right now at this point in my life, a powdered sugar facial is like the sexiest thing that could ever happen. Everybody, we are here to recap Holidate, which is on Netflix, because you guys watch some Bravo, and we sometimes watch 90 Days, really only or 90 Day Fiance, mostly to talk to Kate Casey. Gonna be honest,
we love Kate Casey.
I watch it. Hi, Kate Casey. I watch it like twice a year to talk to her about it. But how are you guys faring with 90 Day Fiance? There's like a ton of different spinoffs and stuff now, right?
It never fucking ends.
You know what, to be honest, because we've said this before, like Ronnie really is the reason why Jake and I are doing our show, because he encouraged us to do it. And so I remember Jake and I saying, though, we're only going to do like 1 or 2 shows a week because we're not doing what Ronnie and Ben do because they don't have a life. And then Matt Sharp went and made fucking 5 different 90 Day Fiance. So it's now kind of
it's like Housewives shows edition.
Yeah.
We just got season 8 though of 90 Day Fiance with new cast members.
Yeah.
So it's like we've got fresh blood right now. It's a holiday gift. It's good. You know how
there's
it is
like
the new ones.
There's like Happily Ever After. There's The Other Way, 90 Day Fiance.
There's that one where they're on the couch. I've seen that one where they're on the couch, like the people's couch, but with 90 Day Gay people.
And it's been really bad.
Next one is going to be like 90 Day Fiance, still pregnant, eating Cheetos. Like they don't care at this point. It's whatever. Anyway.
But it keeps going, so we're never out of material.
Well, and we should say for our listeners who are like, who are Ronnie and Ben, y'all do watch What Crappens, which is you're branching on. Now it's been specifically just Housewives, but you're having, as Poodle and I call it, that's what for your listeners, I call Jake Poodle. But you're having gay DD of sorts and doing different things.
Your boundaries.
We're expanding because it was something we had been thinking about doing. And then with the pandemic, it kind of forced our hand a little bit because I think everyone's production schedules in the beginning got like really messed up. So our schedule thinned out. And so we started to branch out into things like Selling Sunset or the Great British Bake Off. I mean, and we have a bonus episode. So we've always, dabbled in other shows on the bonus episode. We did like Tiger King and stuff, but it's been kind of fun because we are still like Bravo is still our first love, and we are still pretty much a Bravo podcast, but we figure, why not like play around? We dabbled our toes in Game of Thrones last year, which was really fun. And we realized that like we could just, apply what we do to like almost any show. So like, why not just have fun with it?
Yeah, for
Same.
sure.
Yeah. We kind of thought the same thing when we started doing our stuff.
Well, that and Discovery wanted to sue us and told us we have to change our name in January. So that kind of prompted us because we're going to, for our listeners, we're not going to be 90 Day Gay.
That was kind of what it was.
We're going to be something different in January. We're doing a contest now to choose our new name.
Oh, do you have like a window of like 1 year to change your name or something?
They basically sent us a cease and desist letter that says we're going to own your fucking ass if you don't change it soon.
Wow.
Corporations really know how to deal with their fans. It's so great. I love that.
The weirdest thing is that we were literally on their clapback show. They had
the week they emailed us, we were on their clapback show on TLC.
So it's just legal. Legal is such a weird department.
What got them. Yeah, it's someone in their department saw it and was like, "Excuse you, I'm a
God forbid you guys give them free publicity. God forbid you guys generate interest in their shows. That's just terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
It's good that you're being sued by TLC because they cheap. So you know that their asses aren't going to last long. Okay? You need like $20 to last through that case.
It's not. We want to say it's not Matt Sharp. It's Discovery. Matt Sharp and them. I think they love us.
You need a blowjob. I'm here anytime.
Well, here's the thing. We all love talking about TV shows, and we all love talking about crap TV shows. So we thought we would come together for the holidays and recap, a cheesy holiday movie. So we're like, okay, cool. Holidate is this thing that's on Netflix. We didn't really know what it was. I assumed personally it was going to be like every other Hallmark movie, just some sort of cheesy thing with people, like just like falling in love in a super white place. And it sort of is that, but it was like much more of a edgy movie than I was like, quote unquote, edgy, like faux edgy than I was expecting.
That's a really good term. Faux edgy. That's really, really accurate.
It just was like I was expecting it to be like full Hallmark cheese, but I was like, it starts off with it be like fuck, and I was like, oh, okay.
And those like tonal things. To me, this was like a romantic comedy directed by the Farrelly brothers. In like a weird. There's like gross out. There's poop humor. There's
poop humor. I wrote in all caps. We're having poop humor.
And someone says come within the first 5 minutes. And I was like, where am I?
I felt like it was really hard to be like, we're not a Hallmark movie because we are cursing and someone has diarrhea. But I'm like, yeah, but you are a Hallmark movie. But you added cursing and diarrhea.
I mean, it was produced by Mick G. Did y'all see that?
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderland Sound and Vision. Yeah. That's their company.
Well,
sorry.
They made,
it wasn't like a snarky comment about.
I'll say this. They did a really great job with using the mall. I mean,
that mall.
They really went all in on the mall usage.
Who goes to the mall that much?
I don't.
Ever. Who even fits into clothes from the mall?
Has anyone been in a mall in the past 10 years? It's like a ghost town. Like I go to the mall. Not anymore because of the pandemic, but I love going to that mall. What's that one that's in the valley? That's like off of like Woodman or something.
It's on Sherman Oaks West Side. It's the West Side Valley Village.
Not the West Side Pavilion, but there's one that's like right by where the former headquarters were for Sunkist, and it's just like such a mall.
Really?
I'm like, tell me more about Sunkist.
Sunkist headquarters used to be right off the 101.
Well, Sunkist used to be there.
I do. I love going to malls too because it makes me, I think, reminds me of home because that's what you did. And like, even though I love going to the Bath and Body Works and getting my free candle. And I'm dating myself. I used to love to go to Illuminations.
Which store I used to always walk into was the engraving one, Remembered Things.
Remember This.
remembered things. I would go in there all the time as a teenager. Like, I'm not buying anything in here. I would go in there all the time and dream of all the stuff I was going to get engraved for people.
Oh,
like, that was my.
I would go to the FAO Schwartz store and the KB Toys and Spencer's and the museum store and play with like the little puzzles in there. I would have like a rotation that I would just go through.
Oh, you're smart, kid.
I spent a lot of time in Spencer's with the big fat ladies who were naked on cards.
Yes.
Or how about the naked guys that were on cards? Like that was the best I could get to porn.
That was like
90s.
porn to a teenager.
I said that I was looking at the naked ladies, but
it's still ingrained in you not to say.
So great they have to tell the clerk, I'm just looking at the naked ladies. That's all.
I need to get my mom a naked lady card.
I would just go to places like Casual Corner or Cato Plus and befriend the sales clerk and then let them teach me how to ring people up. That's what I would do. You think I'm lying, but I'm not.
I always wanted to learn how to use those shirt folder things, you know, that they have, like they put like a big plastic plate on the shirt and then they fold them really fast and they pull the plate out. Like,
that wears off after you do it like 1,100 times.
But I know how to do it. And when I worked in Gap in college, my manager was like, "How do you know how to do that?" And I was like, Casual Corner when I was 11. This movie was. I thought this movie would put me in a holiday mood. It kind of did. It kind of didn't. It wasn't
about the holidays at all.
It wasn't really a Christmas movie.
And almost like the big. Okay, I know we are gonna go. We're gonna recap this, but just like. From I have to say a big note that I have is that like they kind of skipped Christmas at the end. Like it was all leading up to the fact that like it's like it starts off with a shitty Christmas and then it's supposed to lead up to the fact that but the next Christmas is going to be amazing, and then they like kind of ended in Sprouts, and I'm like we sort of just like climax in Sprouts and then the mall, and then we just sort of have like a picture of Christmas. And that was
because they had like the Christmas choir or whatever.
They had the gospel choir.
I called them drag brunch gospel choir because those were some gay gospel singers.
But they never put the fucking leaf in the table for him. Okay, that's
they didn't.
He never got the fucking leaf in the table.
Well, welcome to being in a real fucking family.
I know.
Like, is your husband gonna come tonight? Because I don't want to put the leaf in the table.
That was the most authentic thing in this entire movie.
I think they spent the most time on St. Patrick's. That was the holiday that got the most airplay.
Like what misery would life be if you had to spend every one of these fucking holidays with your family?
I know, at all times. They just keep on they just run into each other at all times. They go to all parties.
Mom, I have to meet you for Cinco de Mayo.
I know.
Mom, I have to meet you for Arbor Day. I need to see you.
I'm going to a Halloween party with my crazy aunt Kristen Chenoweth.
Okay, I'm from Oklahoma, so I love Kristen Chenoweth.
I love Kristen Chenoweth.
She was doing in this movie.
It made no sense.
So I love Kristen.
Yeah, it made no sense, but I loved it. But it made no sense.
This was her best performance since she played a wacky vice principal in The Boy Next Door. Okay, this was
wow.
This was just her finest work since then.
That is digging deep.
We all remember that movie, right? It did not end well for her in that movie. I seem to remember there was like an incident with like duct tape.
Isn't that when the crazy guy, wasn't it a J-Lo movie?
Oh,
and he was really hot and she was a teacher.
He was really hot and they had great chemistry, but for some reason they couldn't be together because I was like, they're hot, they have to be together.
And he got her like a first edition of the Odyssey.
Yes. Yes.
And that was the joke because I'm like, wouldn't it have been on tablets?
How do you remember that and not the guy you're dating, Poodle? I love you, but come on.
That guy was hot. You'll never forget that guy from that movie.
Brian Vasquez. Am I making that up?
You might be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
He was fine now.
I mean, maybe he's on my wallpaper, so I don't know. It's fine.
I know Kristen Chenoweth because, well, I know her from a lot of things, obviously, but popular. So you want to be popular?
Wicked, yeah.
Love her, Wicked, and then before that, Charlie Brown. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Do you guys? Oh, do you guys remember? She actually had her own like NBC sitcom called Kristen.
Yes,
she did.
It was on for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
she
she
also
was-
was tied up in duct tape in that one too. It was really weird. Just was really into those scenes.
Now she was
The cat jumped out.
Pushing Daisies, and I
love
loved
that show.
what that show. I'm gonna fuck up the acronym. GCB,
G-
Good Christian
yeah.
Biscuit.
Yeah.
I love
Good
that
Christian
show.
bitches.
That show was good, yeah. But we're
Yeah.
both from that world, you know, where we kind of are from those ladies. Good Christian.
That's
bitches.
true. That's
I
true.
I was down for that show. They shouldn't have called it Christian Bitches because that's
No.
what set everybody off. They're like, oh, we will not. How dare you? They hate Christians, baby eaters.
I just I think that she's like due for a really good Fox television legal drama where she walks. She's like a lawyer who's like just trying to handle it all, and she walks into the courtroom and says, "Your Honor, I object. This is a case not about a crime. This is a case about family." You know,
That's true.
And why
like
why was she the only one who had a Southern accent?
I noticed that too.
And the rest of them were
She
like
was
from
raised in
Chicago.
That was, and she doesn't always have that thick of a Southern accent. It's not like you cast Dolly Parton, you know.
Yeah.
She comes on like, ha! She's like from Mama's Family, right?
she also looked like none of her family members.
None
Was
of
she
them.
supposed to be sisters with Francis.
with Frances Fisher, which
Fisher?
what was Frances Fisher like classical actress doing in this movie?
But
She was
also, isn't,
getting
like,
paid.
Frances
That's
Fisher,
what she
like,
was
20
doing.
Years older than Kristen Chenoweth. I mean, like
this I feel like we are y'all gonna get into the movie, but I feel like
I
overall
don't think anyone cares really.
Yeah,
I don't think
care.
anyone's like, you know
No,
what I
they
really need? A solid recap of Holidate.
It's true. There's one person just pulled over their car, Cheryl, and just went, fuck.
I'm never gonna get my holiday
Never
recap
gonna
that I needed.
you'll
Damn
get
it.
Daryl.
But I feel like people were in the room, and basically this is an example that you can tell a lot of people were involved producing and making this movie, because it is just like, hey, I have this great idea. Hey, I have this. And it was like, let's put all of our great ideas together. We can make this work. So it feels a little bit schizophrenic.
It feels. I think that is such an accurate observation. I think because all of us are in LA or have lived in LA or like have been, I guess, sort of like part of like the entertainment industry, and like this entire script reeks of a development exec who says, how about we put in a scene where he loses his finger? Sure, I guess. And it's like the director, like clearly I looked up the director who his credits are curious, and I'm like, he clearly does not have enough. Like this is like a big deal that he went from directing like, I don't know, an episode of Crossing
No, not
Faith or
Mom.
whatever,
Yeah.
Crossing Jordan, and then like I don't know what he directed, but like now he has something with Bryce Dallas Howard and like, you know, Kristen
So
Chenoweth.
this did it.
He doesn't really have any say, so he has to be like, okay, sure, we'll have a finger amputation scene because that'll be
That
fun.
was where it felt like Dumb and Dumber to me. That was where it got Fairley Brothers and the poop.
It was trying. It was trying. It just felt like it was someone was trying to wedge in some ideas on this.
It was
poor script.
also written by a woman, and I was like,
I looked her up and couldn't find a lot. Tiffany Paulson.
But some of this is taking the women's movement back a little bit.
No, it felt like it was like written in like 1978 for men and women. Like it's like, well, men don't cry, men don't have emotions.
Women take a long time to process information because our brains are just slower and moving slow, not quickly.
When we say we don't want to be with somebody, we really do want to be with somebody. And we're eating chocolate because we're so miserable. I mean, it was like
or like a Tim Allen routine from like 1993.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And like, let me just like push away this super hot guy who's like, I'm super into and he's super into me, and he's also emotionally available all of a sudden. Let me just push him away just because I should push him away because I'm
because I was into a guy that was really hot and he was French, and like I mean, I was triggered by the whole thing, not as a woman, obviously, but I was triggered more as just a single person who's like always single and plans to die single. Like that sounds good to me. Like I love it. I purposely do it. And then the whole movie is like this girl's like, fuck it, I don't need anybody. I'll sit at the fucking kids' table. Fuck you, mom. Fuck you, kid. And then at the end, she's like, but I do need somebody. I'm just broken inside. Like, fuck you.
I almost felt like her character was written by someone who's never been single. Like it was like I feel like Tiffany, whatever her name is, I'm like really glad that she wrote this.
Good for her. Good for her.
Like for real, like we know how hard it is to make these movies.
Yeah, for real.
But it sort of read like Tiffany is one of those girls that just goes from relationship to relationship,
Yeah.
and she's created a character that's like not like any other single person. Like, I just don't think that single people act that way. As someone who was like once single for like 15 years, you know?
Yeah.
Her character was the most problematic for me because I understood him. He was just an asshole.
Yeah.
And
he's, by the way, completely unlikable.
oh, completely. What a jerk.
It's you guys, I love people like that. I was like, oh my God, I love his highlights. Like, I just thought he was like so lost. And he's like, I love golf. Like, that's his personality trait, that he loves golf. And I don't know. I thought he was just always nice and charming. Like, what did he do wrong?
But
he was actually very upfront.
He gets better near the end. But
he's handsome.
He's a dick at the beginning, but she's kind of like dresses like every like tech person on every crime procedural. Every it's like every little vest.
That up.
Yeah, and like
Bauer, there's a criminal coming at you.
Yeah, it's like Chloe. It's always Chloe on 24 and she's kind of like, she hates everything, but always spends time with her family. And also she doesn't want to be single, but she also she wants to be single, but she also is painting for her fiance, who is also a jerk. But then she freaks out about him wanting to have a baby, even though she doesn't want to have a baby.
Yeah,
and she's Also, by the way, okay, this might sound a little retrograde, but she's also like really pretty. And it kind of feels like she probably would have like a pretty easy time dating. And I understand this is why it's retrograde, because I understand like looks kind of have nothing to do with like dating, and whether like it should be like, oh, you're pretty, you should be able to date. But at the same time, it's kind of like well,
she bemoans about not having sex. Y'all, this is just a fact. Straight pretty women can have sex basically whenever they want.
Yeah,
this is for gay men talking.
This is for. I'm just come at me. But I'm just.
I feel like they really had to dirty her up. Like they had to put her in Chloe clothes. They had to put her hair was dirty.
But like, why don't they just cast Chloe? Why don't they just
Marilyn Rice?
That would be like amazing. Like that one, I would actually like be so invested. Like I actually would like it more if she were more like the ugly girl who then has this like super hot dude. Although I guess the super hot dude probably would not be like, okay, you're gonna be my Holidate, because I think you would want someone who's like hot to be a Holidate, right?
It's a problem.
You would have to do it. Well, don't get me started. And I do. You're right, Ben. And I want to preface, y'all, I have made a short film that's way worse than this. So, yes, we like Jake and I have done theater shows that are complete shit. So,
I mean, look, we're not coming from a place of, we're all great filmmakers, so we're going to trash this film.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, we're the
Although,
audience.
Ronnie, all of our improv shows were always better than this.
Even and those could get pretty.
The ones we had to buy pizza for people to come.
Girl, we would. There were times where we would apologize after.
We would.
Like, I'm sorry.
Come to
my
improv
short
show.
film Coffee. I made a short film in college called Coffee, and I have to say, it is not as good as this.
Well, this one, you brought up the director, so I had to look him up. His name is John Whitesell, which I think is funny because that's like literally what he's doing is selling white people.
Selling to white people.
And selling white people to white people.
Yep.
And he's known for directing and producing Guiding Light, 1952. I mean, this guy's. Oh, well, I guess that's when it started.
Yeah.
Holidate and Big Mamas, Like Father, Like Son.
How does he get this gig, by the way?
Girl,
how does he get this gig? I'm sure there are like so many qualified people. Like, actually, I didn't really have a problem too much with the direction, believe it or not. The direction was like fine, I thought, but like
passable.
Yeah.
I think, but you said white people. Don't forget the funny black friend.
Oh, yeah, the Vine star.
Oh, yeah.
The Vine star. No, that guy made it big on Vine.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's his whole thing. His name is Andrew Batchelor. His name was King Batch, and
he
he's
was
like
really funny in it.
He was
a
funny.
Debut. What a feature debut.
He was the funniest, and actually, I did guffaw out loud several times at the older sister at some of her lines and the way she said them.
She's on Grey's Anatomy, isn't she?
She had a few.
Yeah,
Look, there were like a few.
I mean, all this stuff we bitched about. I sat down. I was crying like at the end.
I got moved too, and I was mad at myself.
I mean,
I was
cute.
That's why I was triggered, because I was like, maybe I do need to be happy with somebody else. Am I just eating too much because I want somebody to follow me in the mall? And I was like, no, I'm mad at her because like she's a skinny girl that pretends she's always eating chocolate. Like I hate that in movies, and like there were so many things that made me mad. But then at the end, I cried, and I was like, okay, therapy.
Yeah, I did actually. I was sort of like pining for them to get together, only because I was so annoyed by the fact that they weren't together. I was like, there's no reason for you guys not to be together. Yeah. And you guys are trying to be all meta in the beginning of this movie by like joking about rom-coms and what people do in rom-coms are so cliche. I'm like, the most cliche thing is that you're not together, and real people would have been together right now.
Yes.
And the interesting is they dropped all of that. And about 30 minutes into the film, they dropped all the meta. This is what people in rom-coms
from the first draft. That was before the development execs got involved. They were like, it was probably all over the thing, you know. I actually had like very high hopes once I realized what this movie was about, because I had no idea. Because probably like my number one, number two favorite Christmas song of all time is "Christmas Wrapping" by the Waitresses. Do you know that song?
No.
It's like, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Think I'll miss this one this year. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Oh, I do know that song.
Look at Ronnie's face.
So it's actually like a story song. The reason why I'm bringing it up, it's a story song. It's about this woman who's basically Bryce Dallas Sloan. It's basically Sloan's character. It's this woman who like basically like the Christmas sucks for her, and she meets a guy at a Christmas party, and then like the whole song is about how they keep running into each other through all the holidays throughout the year, and then at the end of the song they spend Christmas together, and it's like ba-boom, you know. So I was sort of like hoping
it's like, that movie called? I want to watch that and
it's
cry
a song. It's a song, and I always thought like, why has no one adapted this song into a movie? And I was like, oh, here it is. It finally arrived. So
that's
I had like
your idea, Sugar. Do that shit.
Who do you keep calling Bryce Dallas Howard?
What?
Who do you keep calling Bryce Dallas Howard?
This
is Julia Roberts' niece.
Oh, it's Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts.
Yes. Emma Roberts. Yes, I know her because of American Horror Story, and she always plays this character. So it's weird.
I was like, why is Bryce Dallas Howard in this? She was in
I confused names on the daily, and I actually just went with you on that. So I'm with you, Ben.
Bryce Dallas Howard was that really terrible. She was in The Village.
I love The Village. How dare you? I did not guess The Village, by the way.
So wait, you didn't at the end when she came out on the road, you just didn't go, have I been led astray?
No, at the end I was like, oh my God, that was such a good twist. And everybody in the theater was like, this movie. Like, literally yelling in the movie theater how much
should have had it end in a mall like this one.
Yes,
you've been in the mall the whole time. Kim Cattrall has been the mayor this whole time, and she's a magic.
You guys, when they first started talking about the concept of a Holidate, and I didn't really understand it, and then it's like, and Kristen Chenoweth was like, yeah, I'd just bring a new person every time it's a Holiday. And then they just perverted the concept.
Thank you. They really did.
Because it's not about taking someone to the same thing, which makes no sense if you're not going to have a relationship with that person. Even your parents know. So you're not fooling your parents. They're like, this guy again, I guess they're never going to get together. Why even bother?
And like also
they loved each other.
It's also like, what is wrong with these people that they're so insecure that they can't go to a like Easter with their family alone?
Right. And how like vapid and empty are you that you just desperately need someone by you, and also you're going to continue it for the rest of the year.
Well,
and, like,
okay,
you really
Cheryl.
need a date for St. Patrick's Day. Isn't St. Patrick's Day the time when you get drunk and then hook up with a rando? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Cheryl just drove off the road again, and now she's sobbing, just going, fuck.
Because I destroyed the movie for her.
Because you just read her for Phil.
But also, this kind of reminded me of that deal, we all make with our best girlfriend growing up. Like, if you don't get married, and if I don't get married, then maybe we can get married one day. And then you turn
maybe we can have a baby.
You're like, I'm not fucking marrying you.
No. Yeah. Maddie did that. Maddie did that with one of his best girlfriends. Like, can you give me my baby? You'll give me my baby.
And now she doesn't believe in gay marriage, and she's married to a straight man. So you know what? She can live her life.
See, that's how shit works out later. Yeah. And by the way, it reminded me of that.
By the way, I have to say also, kudos to this movie for not having ambition. They're like, we could have added some twists. We could have done something like, I don't know, make them fall for each other around July 4th, and then like maybe one of them, or maybe one of them starts like dating someone for real in the real world, and then there's like a real complication. And instead they sort of like sprinkled us with that, with like that Labor Day incident. But like, they're like, no, we're not going to complicate this. We're just going to have two people who should be dating, and they just won't date because we're telling them not to date.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it was really lazy. You're right. Yeah.
I wanted the twist
super lazy.
I just wanted the twist to be that they were like, no, we're going to just stay single. And it's fine. And everyone's fine. And then you see like 50 years down the line, he's still coming over for Christmas, and they haven't seen each other since. July 4th or whatever.
And they're both still alone.
Yeah.
I was hoping she would like finally get her baby, but not tell him about it. And then like we flash forward to like 30 when he finally meets his son at Christmas.
That's
or how about they just both come out of the closet? He's gay, she's a lesbian, and it makes so much more sense.
That's great.
That's the previous ending to the happiest season.
They would definitely have to change his highlights because those are definitely hetero lights.
They are. They are really good hetero lights, though.
Yeah, he was hot. It's like the fourth Hemsworth brother.
He reminded me of that guy who was in that. He was Australian, I think, as well. Poodle's gonna hate it because I'm terrible with names. He was a hot blonde guy and an actor. So I'm getting specific.
This is like our version of Pyramid that we do.
But he was in like that. He was in that. He was in that shark movie.
Sam from Cheers.
He was where he thought shark, not the Meg. It was like blue something.
Oh yeah, Deep Blue Sea. Oh, Sam Neill,
Jason Patrick.
Maybe. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. This is what
Jason Patrick was in Speed 2, but that was a good guess.
He's not even that blonde.
I have a computer.
You know what he reminds me of? To me, he looks like Austin from like Southern Charm, like what Austin could be if he was hotter, but also with like mixed with Aaron Eckhart.
He gave
yes, there's
Aaron Eckhart without as prominent of a chin. Like
he did. He did kind of look like Austin, but his tongue wasn't.
His tongue was not big enough to talk.
So Thomas Jane, that's who he kind of reminded me of. That guy was on my spank bank.
I think he's American. Thomas Jane's American.
You know what? I made him Australian for me, bitch.
You really elevated him because he has nothing distinctive about him. Like Thomas Jane, like even his name it's like
I know.
I'm sure how many times did people think that like when they were doing roll call, did they think there was a lovely lady named Jane Thomas there? Like,
oh, right.
Like literally the most generic name, Tom and Jane.
That's true.
Jane Thomas.
True. Yeah, I watch him on The Expanse. I love him. But when you said that, I thought you were talking about Simon Baker from The Mentalist. I don't know.
He's attractive too.
You know, the rumor about him was that he never wore deodorant. And he just stunk up the place. Yeah. And all the cast were like, can we not be here anymore?
Really?
Because he was so awful. Yeah.
Well, he always wore vests on that show on The Mentalist. Like that was his character trick. Like he could tell what everybody was thinking, but also he wore vests, which I always really loved. Okay.
Shall we start to recap
this?
Yeah. Okay.
We'll recap this in the next episode. Okay, welcome back. Here's part 2 of the Holidate.
So it opens up with a woman who we come to know as Sloane. By the way, every name in this movie is like Wasp. It's like Wasp Nightmare. Everything was like Sloane, Jackson, York. I mean,
York. Oh, York.
Harley.
Yeah, it was like very hard for me to remember these names. So this is Sloane. She's Emma Roberts, not Bryce Dallas Howard, nor is she Jessica Chastain. She's just Emma Roberts, and she's smoking a cigarette outside. It's the holidays, and she's like, "Fucking holidays, yeah. Guess what? You're an R-rated movie, fucking twats."
Yeah, we know how this tone is going to go. Yeah,
this movie is very much like, hey, we want to show you everything, so that way you don't infer anything. Yes, and she like walks in, and she's and immediately we just see like it suddenly becomes like this cavalcade of it is like Poodle said, it becomes Mama's Family, where you feel like you're in an SNL sketch
the entire time.
Yeah. Yes. The house is like Christmas Wonderland. She's like the only one who doesn't belong, and and all the siblings are like, "You're single."
She went on.
The single person's here. Wow.
And they're like, you know what? Let's make a romantic comedy character who's not anything like a romantic comedy character. And she's like, "Fuck it." And she takes her cigarette and she ashes it out on Santa's head outside. I was like, okay,
"Oh yeah,
okay." Yeah. I'm trying to cheer for you because you're single all the time, but that's not nice.
Fucking holidays.
It really
if you
is.
like the feature film Bad Moms, you're gonna love me.
Come on.
Bad Santa.
I feel like, and I'm referencing this because I'm a comic nerd, but why it feels like this was a romantic comedy kind of directed by Zack Snyder. And why I say that is because Zack Snyder, like, if there's a lily, he killed it to the extreme. And I feel like they were like, hey, the only normal name in the whole movie, how did your date go with Rodney the clown? Like, it just.
That was such a weird thing to say.
Like, you could have said an accountant. You could have said Rodney, the fireman, even if you wanted it sexy. But no, the clown.
That's the movie I want to see. I want to see her date with the clown.
Like, wouldn't it make more sense if she turned down a really good option like Rodney the lawyer or something like that? Yeah. Like, it almost felt like the movie should have had like either this family be totally arch and crazy and like obsessed with people being like married off, and like that's what's funny about them is that they have like this like crazy mindset like the other family we see in the beginning. But it's not that. They're just like, oh, we set you up with a clown. Why aren't you into dating a clown?
Why aren't you into that, you fucking loser? Like, I love that the family just thinks that she's completely a loser as well.
And
like,
you guys, the mom is the least supportive mother you'll ever meet, and just a monster.
She kind of is, but I like that's my mom in a way. Like, she's redheaded like that, mom, even. Yeah. And I like a realistic mom, because all these moms in Christmas movies, you're like, oh my God, all I care about is you. And then I die at the end and everyone cries. Like, Family Stone.
I just felt like,
but this,
I love that movie.
Like, you know what? I'm miserable. You're miserable. And, you know, we're all going to fucking die alone. I don't want to put the fucking leaf in.
Did we ever find out what happened to the dad? Did we ever find out? She had a very arc. Yeah, it was kind of like, I hate putting leaves in tables. And now I'm gonna like hook up with the dad from the Wonder Years.
I think that arc was probably in a draft.
That is the dad from the Wonder Years. That's what it was.
I think that arc was in part of the draft, who he was, because that guy and because Wonder Years' dad replaced that kind of gruff, and that's why she was being that way to the daughter. Right. So, but we never got the payoff from that.
So you're saying the mom and the daughter are both terrible people because they're not with the man and unhappy. Okay, I just want to make sure we're perpetuating feminism.
The mom also might blame the daughter. Maybe it was a thing like the dad tried to set the daughter up with a boyfriend and died, and so she always blames the mom blames the daughter for her husband dying.
That's what happened.
Somebody call White Cell.
Yeah. Patrick.
I'll never forget when your father set you up on that date a long time ago and he ran into an interstate pylon.
If only you hadn't been single, he would be here with us today to put in the leaf.
That's why Francis Fritcher agreed to do this movie, because of that scene that was cut, unfortunately.
Well, there probably was like a thing that was like, she doesn't like putting in the leaf reminds her of when they had more people at the table.
Yes. The movie should have been 4 hours.
Bitch.
The movie should have been a BBC miniseries.
Yeah.
Added some layers to Francis over there. I think Jake's right that they trick people by giving them big scenes in the script and then cutting them. Like,
oh yeah,
like, what is Francis doing here? She probably had like some huge scene at the grave, where
she has a monologue. She has a monologue, and it got cut.
I think that was it, because she's a dramatic actress, and she was the mom from Titanic. Her most famous is Kate Winslet's mom.
And didn't she win an Oscar for Unforgiven?
Yes,
she did.
Oh,
she did. Such Academy Award winning.
She's an Academy Award.
She's an Academy Award winner playing a mom who has no reason for being cruel to her daughter.
But it's Netflix, and there was more money than God, and so they just gave it to her.
She's just like very determined to have her daughter be with someone, and so also like one thing that we learn is that Sloane is a smoker. Although we only really see her smoking.
All horrible people are smoker. They couldn't make her fat because it's TV. Might as well make her a smoker.
Smoker who enjoys chocolate. And then we also see the aunt. What's the aunt's name? Was it Susan?
It's Susan.
Yeah, Susan.
Susan was brought up.
Name. It just sounded like they were saying slut.
I did type Aunt Slut actually when I was typing notes.
She brought home a Christmas. She brought home a Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus from the mall, mind you. We're already introducing the most important character of them all.
Yeah.
So,
And
That
I
is
think
there.
they're making fun of this, but this is a serious sex addiction.
It really is. I mean, this is coming from gay men.
This is coming from me. I have a lot of sex, and I think this is some serious sexual addiction.
I support it. I think it was the most progressive part of the entire movie.
It was very much so.
I'm kind of for it too. I love too that, again, like most movies you see a little bit, even like in like 24 Dresses with what's her name, who's horrible. There's like they set
27 dresses, please.
Or 27.
Remove 3 of her dresses.
Yeah, I did. Y'all, I'm terrible. I never
made that movie much more acceptable.
Welcome to Jake's world.
I spend all of my time going 27 right after he says something.
But or like. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say another correction when he's like, yeah, that's like, Press Your Luck, hosted by Elizabeth Smart. and I stopped and I went, you mean Elizabeth Banks? And I said, Elizabeth Smart played the harp and was kidnapped.
Yeah, she would have been better. She would have been, every time something dings, she would just be like.
Or Jake actually said she could play her harp.
By the way, if this movie were made 15 years ago, it would be starring Amy Smart. I think we can all agree.
It would be. Yes.
Amy Smart. It would. I forgot. Oh, I was going to say, there's usually some time where they set up the characters. We get a little bit of their life. Within the first minute and 30 seconds, we get, oh, well, you need to go on a holiday, honey. And I'm like, whoa,
what's a holiday? Yeah.
We just got it in like the first minute, yet this movie was an hour and 45 minutes long.
90 minutes tops.
Were you the only one who was shocked that when it was like Labor Day and you're like, okay, there's only like 2 months left in the year. It was Halloween. And I was like, there's still 40 minutes left after Halloween.
I was too.
This should have been 90 minutes tops. 85 would have been a good length.
Yeah, that was
I just want to say, Jake said
holiday. When they say holiday right out the gate, that's like some TV movie show. Like, we gotta get the premise in before the first
holiday.
That's some producer. Gotta get the name out there, boys.
I just want to
recognition.
I want to say that, like, I love doing my show with Jake. Jake's one of the smartest people I know, and he's usually very aware of things. But every once in a while, I'm like, where the fuck did you think that? And I love you, Poodle, but you did say, wow, I hope we can make fun of this because this movie looks good.
Did I say that?
You did say that.
Let me tell you, I was wrong.